Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news the US budget repair is having some impressive results. But first, their April CPI data was released earlier this morning, and it came in at 8.3%, fractionally lower than the March's 8.5%, but slightly higher than the expected 8.1%. The core readings were lower at 6.2% year on year. But the monthly change from March actually rose at a faster pace than was expected, and this has grabbed market attention. Separately, American mortgage applications rose marginally last week, a second consecutive increase, and despite a rise in borrowing costs as their spring housing market enters its historically busiest time. And the better management of the US federal government is starting to show some reduced deficits. In fact, their April result reported a spectacular surplus. That surplus was a remarkable $308 billion in the month, reducing the annual deficit to just $1.2 trillion, that's 5% of GDP, from $2.8 trillion, that's 11% of GDP, in the prior full fiscal year. The April surplus was the largest ever recorded, built on fiscal restraint. Spending was down 16% in the same month a year earlier, and fast rising tax revenues from their booming economy. We should also note that the American farmers are running out of time to plant crops in their spring season. Wet and cool weather in key parts of the Midwest has left farmers with just days to get their crops in the ground at a time when global grain supplies are already under pressure. In China, they are starting to get some modest consumer price inflation. April CPI ran at an annual rate of 2.1%, up from an annualised 1.5% rate in March, and above forecasts of 1.8%. This was their highest rate since November. And the reverse is occurring in their factory sector, where high producer price inflation is easing, even if only marginally. The US Treasury 10-year yield starts today down 7 basis points, from this time yesterday to 2.92%. And the price of gold starts today up $7 since this time yesterday at $1,852 an ounce. And oil prices have moved higher as well, up $4.50 at just under $104 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is now just over $106.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar will open today marginally firmer at 63.1 US cents and off its 2-year low. Against the Australian dollar, we're also slightly firmer at 90.8 Australian cents, and against the euro, we're marginally higher as well at 59.9 euro cents. That all means our trade weighted index starts today at 70.6. And the Bitcoin price has fallen 6% from this time yesterday, is now at $29,789. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been extreme again, at just over plus or minus 5.2%. We welcome your feedback. Leave a comment below or on our website. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.